Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Nathan Drinkard. I'm Jay Wise. Thanks for spending some of your time with us. We're on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere in between. And you can also find the video format of the show at the A Drink of Wisdom YouTube channel. Drink, lots to get to tonight, but as usual, it's great to be with you for another great show.
I mean, is it really though? Let's just go, we know what the cash cow is right now. Let's just keep it real. We ain't in here to talk about the USFL. We ain't in here, talk about some of this other irrelevant stuff. You know what we in here to talk about. But that I'm gonna let the man do his job. With that said, hey man, I'm glad to be back in the lab with you. I'm feeling somewhat better, ready to get this thing cracking. You know what it is, and I guess we're a little later than usual. So let me get into it. Another day, another dollar, giving the streets what they need. We see what they don't, and absolutely gonna say what they want. Set that dinner plate because it's time to eat. And then last but not least, let's talk some sports, baby. Jay, what we got today?
All right, well, we got all NBA playoff action. We'll tell you about the thriller in Memphis between the Warriors and the Grizzlies, and then the Joel Embiid-less Philadelphia 76ers and the Miami Heat. And a big night from Luka, but the Mavericks come up a little bit short in Phoenix. But we start with the Milwaukee Bucks defending the NBA champions and the Boston Celtics. Game one of their 7-game series on Sunday. The Bucks win at 101-89. Giannis with a triple-double, 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists. Also 25 from Drew Holiday. The Celtics, 21 points from Jason Tatum, but just 12 points for Jaylen Brown. Al Horford also 12, Marcus Smart 10, and the Celtics really struggled from the floor, shooting just 33%. Drink, what did you I think we both had this series going 6 or 7. Right. I think I had it 7. I think you may have had it 6. Did anything in this game surprise you, and how do you think the Celtics can get back in it?
Yes, listen. I thought the Celtics realized what they was bargaining for. And by the time I watched this game, I felt like Brad Stevens when they cut to him in the booth up there.
And I thought he was coming down to coach.
He was like, I'd have had enough of this. I'm out of here. This is bull crap. My guys out here getting wore out. We looking like a JV league team out here. Listen, Boston went from a oversized team to an undersized team. I think I want to say I heard Charles Barkley say something like similar to that. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, it just shows you the difference in a series. Last series, they was too much. They was too big for the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets, yes, they had a chance to win a couple of games, but in essence, they could not deal with the size and the toughness and the versatility, especially on the defensive side, that the that the Boston Celtics were bringing, right? Fast forward to this series, they don't have enough size. Like they had a versatility still, but I mean, Jason Tatum out here slipping and sliding like this a 8-year-old water park birthday party. He out here just falling around, moving like Giannis out here. Listen, this is grown man's business out here, And this wasn't even Giannis, even though he had a triple double. This wasn't like elite aggressive Giannis. Matter of fact, they played more of that style that you don't even like, with Giannis at the top of the paint, top of the key. Directing the offense. I mean, it was effective, I'm not gonna lie, but they was playing that type of offense, and yet Giannis still was kind of able to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, the Bucks made it look easy, man. I know the Celtics is one game, and I got it. I don't want to overreact because the Celtics is still a good team. I'm not going to take that away from them. I think they had the best first round opponent, and they beat them handily. They swept them. They the only team swept. So they are a good team. But I'm gonna tell you like this: if you do not understand that this Milwaukee Bucks team ain't the Brooklyn Nets, you're going home quick. You're going home quick. They're more physical. I mean, they have what the legitimate best player in the world now. I mean, it was a debate. I was one of them guys that said KD had a claim to it. No more. I'm not saying that no more. Giannis, I'm not going to try to finish the rest of it, is the best player in the world. That's just what it is, bar none. And that's how he's playing the game. That's how he's taking the game. He's taking it super duper serious. He's in that elitist team to back-to-back rings. Now, with all that said, I will give Boston this. I thought Boston played about as good of defense you could play on Giannis without trying to build that wall. And I said I didn't think they had to build that wall. And they didn't really sell out to build the wall. I think they brought two bodies. Giannis just made good decisions. I think when we was talking about this, I said, yo, you start getting in front of Giannis, get him to start picking up early offensive fouls, kind of get him out of his rhythm. That wasn't really the way Giannis looked at this, or let me say the way Budenholzer looked at this. I think he played Giannis in a way where Giannis didn't put himself in harm's way throughout this game. And I'm gonna be real, man. It's kind of to what you said. You said you had asked me. You said, "Well, don't you think Drew Holiday he's gonna have to pick up his offensive uptake so they can be able to use him as the number two, and then use Matthews as the primary defender?" I mean, listen, I can't argue with your analysis. When I see Drew Holiday, it's almost like Drew Holiday was waiting for Middleton to get hurt. I mean, I ain't saying this is true, but all I'm saying is, where the hell has this Drew Holiday been? I mean, the Drew Holiday we seeing now is the dude that we thought they traded for them years ago when they first got him. And then he turned into more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy. Now he looking like Philadelphia Drew Holiday, that all-star Drew Holiday. Like, he looking like that guy right now. And if they keep getting that out of him, Chris Middleton can take his sweet time, I guess. I guess they like, hey, Chris, just heal up, buddy. Because this is enough. I'm going to let you know right now, this is enough, especially to finish this series and whoever they play in the next series. This is enough for them to make it to the NBA Finals. There's no way you can convince me it's not enough. I just watched Philadelphia and Miami. I know we're going to get into that down the road. We didn't see one game of that series. We didn't see one game of this series. There's no way you watch both of them series and think the Bucks cannot get at least to the NBA Finals with what they got right now. That's without Chris Middleton. That's without George Hill. And what I saw last night, man, was just the Bucks know that they were a championship level team. They ain't BSing this year, man. That's the difference with these Bucks. They are not BSing this offseason. I think when we was talking about the first round, I was like, yo, they're winning in 6 because they known to give up a game or two and be lackluster and come out here and be flat. Since game 1 of last series, the Bucks have been playing some ball, man. I can't say enough about what Giannis been doing, Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, even what's his name, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton. Brook Lopez, to me, been flopping around since he got back from injury. I mean, I honestly feel like he just been flopping around. And you know what? It don't even matter. They just like, hey, you want 28 minutes to flop around, Brook? Come on, man. Don't worry about it. It don't even faze them that he's just out here flopping around. It's just like, whatever, dude. Because they're so locked in everywhere else that look how pedestrian they made Jaylen Brown and Smart look. To a lesser degree, Jason Tatum. But Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, these are two dudes that gave Brooklyn a business in the first round. Evidently, Tatum was the leader of the team, but Brown and Smart was the other two that kind of made it where it was like, all right, they got swept. Them 3 dudes had good games. That was a wrap. They looked at Jaylen Brown was like, oh man, these dudes are physical. Oh, physical, huh? Were y'all physical last series? Oh, okay, I guess. No, different strokes for different folks. Got a little different. So, in a nutshell, Jay, so I don't take this all night long. Here's the deal, man. I think if the Bucks bring this level of aggressiveness like tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby Portis go for like 30 tonight. Mark what I tell you. I think Bobby Portis might go for 30. I think they realized in that first game that Brooklyn is big. I mean, why can you say Brooklyn? Boston is big. Boston is versatile. They have elite level defense. But when you make them work with that elite level defense, it does stymie that offense. And when you get in Jason Tatum's head, like, I don't know what was going on with him and why he was struggling so bad, but when they kept bringing them aggressive double teams and making him work for it, he wasn't the same guy. And when he wasn't the same guy, clearly Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, whoever else, even Derek White. I'm a Derek White fan. I mean, nobody. It got ugly, Jay. It got really ugly. So we'll see tonight, man. If Milwaukee go play that bullet ball tonight and it's a blowout, I get it. We still got to go back to Boston, but it's going to take more than that arena in Boston to get them back in this game if they let Milwaukee go there and just walk all over them tonight like they did in game one. I mean, I'm sorry, Jay. Yeah. I'm all just thrown off. I know the first two games in Boston. I meant to say when it go back to Milwaukee. If the Celtics don't force Milwaukee to do something different tonight and they let Milwaukee stomp all over them in Boston tonight, when this game get back to Milwaukee, it's over with, is what I meant to say. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a road team wins game one, you almost feel like the home team. I mean, it's not necessarily absolute must-win territory, but when you lose the first two on your home floor, then that's really tough. And I think this is for it to be a real series. I mean, Boston's got to regroup, and they got to regroup quickly. And man, what a difference, right? You come out here and sweep a team who look like they have NBA Finals talent, and then you come out here against the defending champs, and who are missing their second best player. And man, Milwaukee's still really good and still with great depth. And I still, it's still pretty, to me, interesting that Ibaka can't find minutes. Ibaka gets 1 minute of garbage time, and at that point, like, what is he even doing? This just looks weird. But man, I tell you, Milwaukee, everyone's been talking about Boston's defense for a while, and I think rightfully so. Milwaukee now in 6 playoff games has held their opponent to 100 points or fewer, and that is unheard of in today's NBA. You just don't see that, and you have to recognize that. And I think Jason Tatum was just as guilty in this game as Jaylen Brown of having a poor performance. Combined, you're 10 for 31. Tatum just 6 for 18. And I think, like, Jaylen Brown, I don't think he's 100% healthy right now. He's got to be dealing with an ankle or something, because his shots just he just looked out of sorts. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look healthy. And now I was reading earlier, I think Marcus Smart's ruled out for game 2. So, I mean, now you're looking at, the Buck, you thought you had an advantage, or so we thought, with Middleton being down. But now, and I know Smart isn't, your best scorer or anything, but they always say, kind of like how Draymond's the heart and soul of Golden State. Well, that's what Marcus Smart means to the Celtics. So, what is that going to do to, the intensity and that they play with tonight? They got to bring it, and they got to bring it for 48 minutes. But I actually, the thing about it is, I think Boston did a pretty good job on Giannis. And I think, I don't think they didn't employ quite as crazy a wall strategy as I thought, to your credit. And I thought Al Horford did a nice job. He can't stop Giannis, but he is big enough, and he's, probably, one of the guys who has a decent shot to keep him, from completely wrecking the game. But the thing I thought was going to be so crucial, Giannis's passing he was outstanding. 12 assists. Look, if he average double digits assists in this series, you forget about it, because that means your 3-point shooters are cooking. And you talk about when they bring Grayson Allen in, Connaughton, I mean, Javon Carter was a plus 25 in this game. So those guys all came in and had impacts. And of course, I mean, Drew Holiday, 25 points, 9 rebounds, I think 5 assists. I mean, just doing a little bit more. And and we look at Holiday and we talk about how great a defender he is, rightfully so. But, like I thought, and I didn't track this the entire game, but Wesley Matthews was doing a lot of the heavy lifting and dirty work on Tatum, I think. And there were multiple occasions where it looked like Drew Holiday was just following Marcus Smart around. I think that helps him. If he's devoting a little bit less energy to Marcus Smart, I think that helps him from an offensive standpoint. And here's another thing that I picked up, and I think from the broadcast, it might have been Doris Burke that said this. The Milwaukee Bucks, with the way they like to pack the paint on defense, and they like to force teams to take outside shots. It looks like what they've calculated is that they're going to pay a lot of attention to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they're going to concede some shots to Marcus Smart and Al Horford. And Horford made some threes, but Marcus Smart was just 1 for 6. And Marcus Smart, and I think what I saw, as he started missing some of these early shots, he looked hesitant after the fact. He didn't look as confident anymore. And now that plays into Milwaukee's hands, because if they're giving you the shots, you have to remain confident, because if now you're giving them up, well, that's what they're giving you, though. And if you're no longer taking those shots and believe in yourself, then you're just at a disadvantage, because now guys like Tatum and Brown have to do even more and take even tougher shots than they're already taking. And the other part of this that I don't want to undersell, and you know how much I really love him, Bobby Portis has been outstanding and continues to be. This guy has, in 5 or 6 games this postseason, has a double-double. The only reason it's not 6 for 6 is because he took that shot to the eye in game 2 against the Bulls, to where he only played, 6 minutes or so. It's just unbelievable what he's meant to this team since they brought him over at the beginning of last year. And the other part of this thing about Boston not feeling quite as big, like their size isn't an advantage, because Budenholzer, instead of putting in another backcourt guy for Chris Middleton, he upsized, which is just a strange thing to do. You don't see it much. But now when you have Lopez, Portis, and Giannis, it completely nullifies Boston's advantage on the inside, because Robert Williams and Al Horford, we like them, but they're overmatched with Giannis and Lopez and Portis. And of course, the one thing I thought that would decide the series, the biggest thing, rebounding, Boston was +6. Boston got a lot of things to work on, and they don't have a lot of time to get it together. If you lose tonight, you might go home pretty early.